Hey Absol-lites, Pokemon Emerald with only one Machop was a pain, and I really need an easy run. So today we figure out, can I beat Pokemon Fire Red with a team of only one Scyther? Stats-wise, Scyther is actually really good, having quite good attack and speed, and just fine everything else. In terms of moves, however, not so much. Scyther literally does not learn a stab move until level 26. And then, the only bug move it learns is the disgustingly weak Fury Cutter, and it does not learn that until level 46. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go, so this part is actually written before I get started. Let me know if you think I can win or not. I'm very confident that I can win, though Brock might be a pain. I'm actually doing this challenge because I need a quick and easy one while I work on a more complicated video, because I know that one will take a while. The rules are very simple. I can only use Scyther in battle, though I will need other Pokemon for HMs. No items in battle, and no glitches or exploits. Before we get started though, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and ring the bell to join the Absol-lites, and let's get started. Right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Bulbasaur with Scyther, so that my rival will have Charizard, the hardest for us to fight. I name it Pinsir, because that's hilarious. At level 12, I tried Brock. I started by setting up Focus Energy, and then I took down Geodude with a few pursuits. Then Onix came out and took me down in one Rock Tomb. Okay, I think I need to grind. Level 17, I tried again, and after going back and forth for a while, I managed to take him out with Pursuit. Along the way, I took the Helix Fossil. I knew if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, I won't ask anyway. Comes good for the YouTube algorithm. Time for the Nugget Bridge rival battle. After getting way over-leveled, I easily swept his team with either Quick Attack or Pursuit, depending on the Pokemon. Misty was also really easy. I swept her team with Wing Attack and Pursuit. Surge was far easier than he should have been. I somehow managed to outspeed all of his Pokemon and OHKO 2 of them, and do quite a lot to Raichu, the only one I didn't OHKO. I'm a flying type. This should not have been that easy. Erica was actually surprisingly hard. I can't even finish that sentence. She was so comically easy. I swept her whole team with Wing Attack. She never even landed a hit. Giovanni was slightly scarier than most of the battles, thanks to the fact that 2 of his 3 Pokemon resist my powerful moves. I started by setting up 2 Sword Stances before remembering that all dark moves are special in Gen 3, so I just swept through his first 2 with Pursuit, then his Kangaskhan with Aerial Ace. Pokemon Tower rival time. I set up 2 Sword Stances, and then I swept his whole team with Aerial Ace or Return. Rival Final time. After doing some setup on Pidgeotto and then OHKOing, Charizard one-shot me with Flamethrower. Okay, I think I need to grind a little bit. I came back at level 53, set up 1 Sword Stance, and swept his team with Return and Aerial Ace. The second Giovanni fight was really hard. I started by setting up 2 Sword Stances, and then I OHKO'd Nidorino with Return. Next is Rhydon, and I did eventually take it down, but not before Rock Blast got me down to only 40 health. Kangaskhan used Fake Out, getting me to only 29 HP, but then I OHKO'd with Return. Lastly, Nidoqueen, I also OHKO'd with Return. Koga was fairly easy. I OHKO'd Coughing with Aerial Ace. Mach, I almost OHKO'd with Aerial Ace, but then I switched to using Return after he healed. He kept healing for a while since I could never quite KO, so eventually I used Sword Stance, but he didn't heal that turn anyway, so I took him out. His coughing and wheezing were both OHKOs. Sabrina was really easy. I outsped and OHKO'd all of her Pokemon with Return, since it uses their inferior physical defense and my superior physical attack. I should get rid of Pursuit soon, but I don't know what to put there instead. Blaine was a bit scary, but probably easier than he should have been. I started by setting up 2 Sword Stances on Growlithe, though not before he got me down to only 29 health with Fire Blast. After that, however, every Pokemon on his team was an OHKO with Return. Wow, I feel like Blaine should have been tougher than that. Time for the final Giovanni battle. I swept his whole team with either Steel Wing or Return. Giovanni sucks at his job. Last before the Pokemon League is the Viridian City Rival Battle. I set up one Swords Dance, and then I one-shot his entire team with whichever of my moves would be the most powerful. Water Onix was the only annoying one, managing to tank one Return thanks to Intimidate, but then when I expected him to heal, I used Swords Dance again. But he didn't heal, so he got into one Hydro Pump. Thankfully, however, not much came of that, and I dealt with him easily. Now, we are finally at the Elite Four, starting with Ice Trainer Lorelei. I set up 2 Swords Dances and swept her whole team. Oh, by the way, I never set up on the first try. All of these attempts with me setting up are after several attempts of not doing any setup, because I would rather gimmick myself into getting a sweep than grind for the same result. I try to do as little grinding as possible, just because it takes too long, so I'd rather come up with a strategy before I grind. Next up is Fighting Trainer Bruno. I set up one Swords Dance and swept through his entire team with Steel Wing and Wing Attack. Moving on to Ghost Trainer Agatha now, and she was a complete joke. I set up 2 Swords Dances and swept through her team with Aerial Ace and Return. Last before the Pokemon Champion is Dragon Trainer Lance. I set up 2 Swords Dances on Water Onix and then proceeded to one-shot it. Then, however, I failed to one-shot Dragonite and he used Wing Attack, getting me down to literally 2 HP. On the turn that I knew he'd heal, I used Swords Dance, letting me OHKO the next turn. I OHKO'd Aerodactyl with Steel Wing, which was good, because any hit from him would definitely have taken me down, and there was a 1 in 10 chance that I would not have hit, and he would have been able to do so. 2 Dragonairs were both OHKOs with Return. Now, we are finally at the Pokemon Champion. I set up one Swords Dance while he used Sand Attack, then I used Return, getting him low. On the turn that I knew he would heal, I used another Swords Dance, letting me take him down. Rhydon, I OHKO'd with Steel Wing. Charizard, I OHKO'd with Return. Alakazam, I tried to OHKO with Return, but then Return missed, thanks to Sand Attack from Pidgeot. Thankfully, all he did was set up Reflect, and I took him down. Execute was an OHKO with Wing Attack. Last is Water Onix. I used Return, getting him to about half, and he used Hydro Pump, getting me to about a quarter, and then I finished him off with Return. Finally! This run ended up being pretty fun. I know it's a lot easier than most of my runs, but that was intentional. I'm working on a video that I hope to put out next week that's taking a lot of time, so I needed a quick and easy run I could do pretty fast, so I could spend a lot of time on that video. Sorry that does mean this video didn't end up being very interesting. Anyway, this has been fun. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz, and peace out!